Hi, my name's Akshaya.
I'm Joanne.
And I'm Tanisha. This is Behind the Screens.
And today's episode is
Overthinking and Oreos.
Okay. We're back in person.
Yeah. Can't hug you. This is breakfast, yeah. Super light.
I'm so hungry. To start, I guess we can each define it. I guess, when I think of overthinking, it's just, looking too deep into things or, analyzing things a little too much. And, the end result is usually just, you, I guess, getting upset over it or thinking you did something wrong when in reality, it wasn't that deep.
For me, when I overthink, it's I in the moment, whatever I did, I'm not really thinking about, but then after the fact, I'll be like, oh, how did people react to it? What did I say? And how did they say it? And what was their tone? Something like that.
Yeah, I guess you guys kind of covered everything, but a lot of the times it's not, I don't want to say it's not valid, but a lot of the times it's thinking too much about something even though you don't need to be, I guess.
So I feel like different types, the most common ones I can think of are social and academic. And so with social, it's usually just I think what Joanne was saying, you're talking about stuff or you're doing stuff with someone, and then later on you're thinking oh, is what I did wrong? Could people have interpreted it a different way? Was I being annoying? Stuff like that. And for academic, I think it's the first thing I think of is just with tests and stuff. You finished it and now you're thinking about your answers and you're oh, was that wrong and stuff.
I think also academic can just be it can go with anxiety about future, you're overthinking I don't know if it's definitely overthinking in a different way, but I feel it's related more to being anxious about future plans or academic stress and stuff like that, which I think is a lot slighter than social, because if you're overthinking about your grades or something, you'll get it back, but a lot of people don't confront about social things that they've overthought about. I guess me personally, I overthink a lot about when I interact with people, just because I'm was I the only person thinking this way, or did what I say if someone's joking around, I'll be wait, was it actually a joke?
Yeah, and I feel with college, since you're meeting new people and stuff, I feel for me it's sort of been heightened, just because now that I'm talking with new people, obviously I want to make a good first impression. So then a lot of the time I'll wonder did I not talk enough? Did I talk too much? Was I I don't know, was I just not being interesting and stuff like that? Do you think they would think I'm weird? But I think also college has low-key helped me fix that a little, just because now now I sort of go in with the mindset that I'm just being who I am, and if that's something they just don't it's not that serious. I'm not gonna appeal to everybody. I'm not gonna be everybody's cup of tea or something. So as long as I'm being myself, I'm doing what I like, and I know I'm not a bad person, or I know I wouldn't say something mean or rude or anything. So I know I know it's not that serious, and I can still meet other people if this doesn't work out. I'm not forced to hang out with them and stuff. So I think college has at first made it a little bit worse, just because I'm meeting new people, but then it's also helped me fix that. And now if I'm meeting new people back home, I'm being introduced to some of my friends, I'm not as worried about making them like me.
Yeah, I agree. I think the thing is you just will overthink oh, did I make a good first impression, or did the impression I make match who I am, or did I because sometimes when you meet new people, you act a little differently because you're trying to be extra nice, but then you don't want them to think you're fake. So it's just in college, I agree, it kind of made it worse at first, but also yeah, that makes sense that since you don't really, there's not infinite, but basically infinite amount of people to meet in college, so you're not gonna worry too much about what that first person thinks of you, because there's always so many more people.
I thought of an example of towards the beginning of college, when I met this group of people, and I was getting weird vibes, but they were already a group of friends, so the whole time after, I was just wow, I must have been the problem. If they were all a group of friends and they were acting weird, it was probably because of me. But then I came to realize it wasn't me, and like I just like made a friend through that, and like then that kind of just like made our friendship stronger. Just like I don't know, not to like hate on the group, but like we just like that wasn't for us, and like they were chill, and it was just like you have to get through it. So I like overthought about it a lot, but it ended up being fine.
And I think like one thing I've also started to think is like I think like what Joanne or Tanisha mentioned before, how it's like people don't really like confront you, like your friends and stuff. Like people don't usually do confrontation. I feel like one thing is also like if you did do something wrong, like yeah, part of it is being able to identify that something was wrong. But if it's like if there I don't know how to say it, like I don't know how to describe it, but I think it's also just like don't make it as much of a problem if nobody brought it up to you in the first place, because like sometimes like you might do something wrong or like weird, or like you might say something like backhanded unintentionally and you won't realize it, and like the only way like you can really learn is if like someone tells you that what you're doing is wrong. So then like I don't think you should focus as much about like whether this one small thing you did is wrong, especially if nobody's telling you. But like this also just doesn't go for like stuff that's like objectively wrong, you know, like being like super mean to everybody, like to the first person you meet. Like that might be your humor, but at the same time, like you don't know like if that's something someone else would like.
Yeah.
I guess like going back to college, I think in one thing that like I've overthought, is that the past tense, that I've overthought a lot is like when it comes to clubs, because even though you can meet a bunch of people when you're in a club together, you can't like take back your first impression, and you're probably going to be working with those people a lot. So I think you're probably going to be working with those people a lot. So I think like in that way, I think that's not something easy to overthink, just because you're like, did I make a good first impression on this person I'm going to be working with for like this year or like multiple years? Like some clubs I'm in, I'm going to be working with those people, like those same group of people for all 4 years.
Yeah, that was like a big thing for me, because one of the like interview rounds of a club was a personality round, and like they didn't tell you what to expect, and then they didn't tell you like what they wanted either. So like leaving that and like not getting in made me really overthink, like did I see something wrong? Like was it in my like intonation? Was it like how I spoke to people? Or like I don't know what it was. And like they don't even tell you like feedback or anything. And so like I was overthinking that a lot, because like even trying again like the next semester, I like have to think about like how I would fix that, I guess, but I can't really. And so it just like also after that, because it was a lot of social interaction, just like makes you overthink like how you talk to people. But I feel like if you just like show your personality, like be yourself. Yeah, I think like overthinking also comes from just like being nervous in the first place. Like for me, I had a lot of like anxiety going into like coffee chats and like networking sessions and stuff, because like I wasn't the type of person to like be that extroverted, and so a lot of my overthinking came from that, because I'm not like used to being in that type of setting and talking to that many people.
I think though like there's a big difference between overthinking and like anxiety, and I feel like overthinking is a product of anxiety, but like they're not the same. Like I guess when I think of anxiety, it's more just like a feeling like inside, and then like overthinking is like action. But I don't know how I would define it.
I think anxiety is like, I mean, like you said, it's like a feeling. I think like you can, a lot of times being anxious about something will lead you to overthink about it. So like you said, like overthinking is the action, I guess, but I don't like, I guess that is the difference. I don't know how much more clear that you can.
Yeah.
Just I think also overthinking is something that happens after. Anxiety can happen like throughout, like before and after.
Yeah.
And it's like more constant, I feel. But yeah, again, it's like just like a product of that. Like a big thing that a lot of people, especially our age, feel like anxious or like overthink about is social media. Like I know for me, I think right now social media, or like at least Instagram, is getting a lot more casual. But before, it was like such a big deal, and I'd have to like give myself like a pep talk to post, and I would just like it just like makes, yeah, I mean, a lot of people, because like social media is like a highlight reel, like you want to post things that like people would perceive And a lot of time people think like, oh, I want people to think I'm having fun or whatever. And like, that's fair. Like, you want social media to be like the best parts of your life, and like you want to like have a little journal or a scrapbook of all of the good things that have happened. But it took me a lot of time to be like, wait, like this is my page. Like, I want to post my memories, and I don't want to have to think about what other people are going to think about it.
I guess like posting is like really like scary for me. I don't know why that's still a thing. But like story wise, I've always just kept it as like all my memories, and like I've never, well, I've only deleted stuff if like the highlight gets full, but like usually I don't really delete stuff even if it's really old, because it's just like all my memories, and it's like good to look back on sometimes, or like, yeah, I don't know, I've just kept it as like scrapbook vibe.
And I think another thing is like comparing yourself to other people. We've definitely talked about this in like the social media episode or something, but it's like it can cause, I don't know how to describe it. Oh, I think like one thing is like, especially like with your friends and stuff, if you like see them like posting something, like it's really easy to overthink and be like, oh, like why wasn't I there or something. Or like one thing is like it's really easy to feel like FOMO, because like everybody's posting the best part, so like they're gonna like post like a really fun, like when they hang out, something really fun and stuff like that. So it's really easy to like start overthinking that. And like I feel like with posting and stuff, I also used to be really scared, but like now I low-key just stopped caring about social media. Like I deleted it, like both like TikTok and Instagram entirely, and like that's also helped me like stop caring, because now I'm not focused on like what other people are posting, and I'm not focused on making sure I'm posting something and like posting the best parts and stuff. Like if I like think about it and I'm like, oh, like I would like to put this out because I want to, like I like the photos and stuff, then yeah, I would do it. But I feel like I care less about like my presence and how like other people would see me on social media.
I think Instagram adding music to posts made it a lot more casual. But yeah, I also think that coming to college like made me care less about social media in the first place, because like the whole point is that like I like these photos and like I want to put them on my page, like I want my friends to be on my page. Like I just like, it's such a small thing in the grand scheme of things, and I think a lot of people, and also like seeing how other people that I'm friends with like just like fill their social media like has, I don't know, it just like made me think a lot less about it. But at the same time, I think people should be overthinking social media comments because people are getting too bold, and like the fact that you can have like an anonymous account, like the whole point of social media is literally just to like, so people can know what you're up to, so you can have a little scrapbook, and then like hate is just like, why is it there?
It's also not that deep. Like,
Feel free.
especially for a podcast, like God forbid, we're just having fun.
Can I know the psychology behind you overthinking your imposter answers?
Oh
Bruh.
my God.
Tanisha takes 30 minutes every time we play imposter.
Okay, like because sometimes I'm just like it's too obvious, and then I'm like they're gonna say it's a bad word, and I just don't want to be hated for having a bad word.
That's overthinking. And that
You're-
goes
I know.
into
She just said,
overthinking
"Can I
with
know the
friends."
psychology?
Yeah. That goes into overthinking with friends.
But like, why would you take 30 minutes and want that hate rather than hate of someone being like, that's vague? And no one has ever said that's vague.
No, people say that to me all the time.
Okay, but like you say that to people too.
Yeah, I know, but I just don't want people to
So,
hate on
like-
me. Actually, I don't think that's hate. I just don't want people to like say that to me. I
But
just
you
want to
like
have a
to
good
say that to other
word.
people.
I just want to have a good word. No, like if people said it to me, it's not like it would be their fault. Like they're probably right. Like if I say something vague, but I just want to have a good word. It's not like I'm hating on people for saying that to me. Like that's valid if it's actually vague. But I just want to have a good word, and I want people to understand.
No, but people don't understand my words. But like that's okay.
You pull the craziest.
Wait, we should do like a little imposter segment really quick.
Okay, sure. Wait, 3 people is kind of crazy. Wait, yeah. Sure.
This is gonna be a like
It's very big.
exposure therapy
Yeah.
for Tanisha to not spend 30 minutes picking a word because we don't have time for
Yeah.
that. For those of you watching, you can also try to figure out the word. The
Yeah,
category
that's
is Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Santa.
Me?
Quiet, right?
I'm gonna say pole.
I'm gonna say stocking.
Okay, I'm gonna say
Wait, how many rounds are we doing?
2.
Okay.
I'm gonna say wood.
I'm gonna guess the word, and I'm gonna say chimney.
Nope.
No?
It was fireplace.
Ah, same thing.
We knew it was you though.
Yeah,
You
I
said
could
pole.
tell after Joanne, like,
Looked at me.
Because she said pole.
yeah. Cause like I
Because you said Santa.
yeah, so I was thinking maybe it's like workshop, elves, reindeer.
Okay,
I
let's
know.
stop after this.
Okay.
Is it Christmas again? What was?
Okay, I start. Paint.
Paint. I think canvas. I got imposter again. So like I'm so
Wait, I don't even. Why'd you say paint?
what was
Because
the
like people always paint their calculator.
I thought it was her after she said paint. I was like,
Oh.
what? Because it was calculator. I was like, what does paint have to do with calculator? I was so confused.
No, it was like niche because a lot of people like used to paint their calculator.
No, I get it, but I believe canvas for a second because it was like school related. Oh wait, you meant like canvas.
like yeah.
Oh, okay, guys. Let's move on.
I guess like I don't have a lot to say about this. I just think that like at least for me personally, it's a little bit harder to overthink with my friends just because like especially like when these are people like I've known for a while, it's like I've known them for so long, they know who I am and I know who they are. So like it's harder for me to overthink and be like, "Oh, did I say like the wrong thing and stuff?" because like they know my personality and like if they didn't like me, we wouldn't still be friends, you know? Like, if
But I think you still overthink with your
Yeah.
I think we all overthink.
yeah, I think like it's still a little, but I like and like even then, it's just like there are like random things I'll say, or like there are just like some days where I'm just like not feeling that good, and then I'm wondering like, oh my god, everybody hates me.
I think like wait, finish. I was gonna say like what I think each of you overthink the most.
Yeah, I think that's it. But I just like I think with college specifically, I think before overthinking was definitely more, but with college, like now that I know how it feels to like meet like completely new people and have to like sort of start over, I like overthink less.
I think you overthink the most like if you said something or like you think you said something and you're like, oh crap, like why did I say that? Like did they hate me because you said that? It's not about like your friends knowing you, it's more like you don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
And I think you overthink like I guess like not really what people think of you because I feel like you don't care.
No, I think it's more like I don't really care when it comes to like our small main friend group, but then outside of that, I care what people think about me. Like, okay, I don't care about what people that I'm really close to think about me, or like what random people think about me. But the in between circle, I really care about.
Oh, like acquaintances.
Yeah, like acquaintances, like because I don't want them to like start thinking something bad and then they tell people and then it like spreads to my close group of friends. But like random people I don't care about because they don't even know me. And then my close friends I like trust them to like confront me if something's wrong. But like the random in between group of people I really care about. Go on.
And like I feel like with that, like well, I think it's like what I guess similar to me, it's like what you say or like you're thinking of, and this goes back to imposter. It's like you have something to say or like there's something you want to do, but then you don't want to do it because you're, you know.
I mean, it's good. It's good to like think before you speak. It's just sometimes
Too much thinking.
or like if you know that it's not any like ill intention, like why not, you know?
Yeah.
So I overthink texting sometimes because I feel like I always like respond, but I don't like text first all the time. I don't know how to explain it. Like I feel like people used to say they can't tell my tone through my text messages because like I would never use emojis or anything. And like I feel that way now because now like I feel like I'm a lot more chalant with my texting. Maybe, I don't know. But I think like I overthink texting. Like I like have to read it like 20 times over before I send it because I don't want people to like read it the wrong way because I can't see their facial expression after they open it. Or like if people take forever to respond, I'm like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah, I think it's really easy to overthink texting, which is why like now since like most of my or basically all of my friendships here are like over text, I've stopped overthinking it as much just because like what we were saying, like you can't like see someone's tone or hear someone's tone, see the facial expressions and stuff. And like I feel like now I've like sort of realized that like overthinking how someone says like okay, for example, if they spelled it like O-K-A-Y versus just like O and K, like I feel like that's like a little stupid because like is it that deep?
What I've come to realize is that like that used to be valid before when everybody I knew had the same opinion on it, but then like some people just like say okay because it's quicker and they just text faster and like the letter's okay, and like nobody thinks about it like that. So that's why like I don't have an opinion on that. The only thing I used to have an opinion on is the crying emoji because I used to think that was so passive aggressive. Like I never believed that you'd use it for crying or like laughing. I would just think people used it for like being passive aggressive.
I think there are people, because like I think people use it in college that are meaning it to be passive aggressive, but like you usually, at least how all of us use it, I feel like it's passive aggressive. You can do like rapid-ish fire questions. Do you overthink more about the past or the future? I think this is
The past.
Yeah. Wait, actually, how do you overthink about the future? I don't know.
No,
Actually,
That's
I
what
guess
I was
you
saying
can.
would be like kind of
Okay,
like
I
anxiety.
guess you can. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like I feel like for me now, it's sort of just like with school and stuff, because like with like graduating early and like going to not undergrad, like grad school, I'm like thinking a lot more about like what I have to do and stuff, like how I'm gonna apply and like the stuff that you'd have to do before, like with tests and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I think that's something that's definitely been like stressing me out a little, and I've been thinking a lot about like having to plan ahead.
I think future overthinking is like, for us at least, a lot more academic related. Less
Or
like,
like career too.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel like overthinking doesn't always have to be like stress related. It could just be literally like it's something that's taking up a lot of your like mind space because it's something like coming up or whatever.
do you overthink alone or do you talk it out like usually?
I usually overthink alone, and then if it's really bugging me for a long time, I'll like tell someone so that I can like see if I'm being dramatic.
Yeah.
I think I usually tell people. I'm just like not the type of like, if something in my head, I'll text it to them or like my other friends. So like I think I usually talk it out, or even if I don't talk it out, I just get it out. Like I don't think I'll always like discuss it with someone because like there's no because. And I don't think sometimes I probably won't discuss it, but I'll just say it. So it's just like out of my system. Do you replay conversations after they end?
Yes. Like if I'm not able to sleep, I'll be replaying the conversations, or even like
I'll
if I'm
literally think
walking
about
home.
something from like years ago if I can't sleep. It's so bad. One
One
sentence?
sentence?
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
One
what
sentence
would
you
you
tell yourself when you can't
When your mind won't shut off.
I just tell myself it's not that deep. Like even if I think like something was like really embarrassing, one thing I think about a lot is like there are definitely like worse things that I've had, like that I've like more embarrassing stuff I've done. There's definitely more embarrassing stuff they've done. Like in the grand scheme of things, this one little thing isn't that deep.
Yeah.
And another thing is like some people may not have even been listening to what I was saying. Like if I am overthinking something, I'm embarrassed about it, like I'm under the impression that everybody in the room was listening to me and like thinking about me, which is like I feel like not usually the case. What advice would you give someone stuck in their head? I would say like you know yourself best and like you know your intentions, and if like you really feel like someone needs to be like cleared up, then there's no harm in like bringing it up and them just being like, oh, it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Then for it to be in your head and in their head. So like you know yourself, like if you really want to clear it up, just clear it up, like whatever.
I was gonna say, if something's impacting you so much, just talk to them, because like talking to them will end up like lifting that burden off of you instead of just like continuously overthinking it. So it's just like after it gets to a certain point, I think just talking to someone about it is easier than just like letting it be in your head, basically.
I feel like my advice would just be the same thing I said before. In the grand scheme of things, like the small stuff, like maybe like you said something you thought was funny and stuff, like it's never that serious. Like I don't think everybody else is more focused on what they're saying than what you're saying, you know? It's like they're more scared of you than you are of them and stuff. And then
That's a good point. Like everyone's more focused on themselves at the end of the day.
If it like, especially with like social anxiety or like overthinking and stuff, it's just like as long as you're being your true self, like you can't really like do anything that wrong, you know? Like don't focus on trying to appeal to everybody else that like you're not actually like being yourself.
Okay, guys, thanks for listening. We'll see you in 2 weeks virtually on Zoom. Follow our Instagram at _podcast and same on TikTok. And subscribe to the YouTube channel. Yeah, that's it. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.